call me. I ain't gonna call them.
Right. They got the 3 o'clock.
Or if it's like something outside and it started raining, I'm like, yes. So yeah, cancel plans are my jam.
Yeah.
I saw this banner on Facebook, like this party banner that said, please leave by 9. I'm like, yeah, that would be my party banner. Like, get out of here by 9 o'clock. But, you know.
And Kamalu. Yes, will be 1. Kamalu is born under the sign of what?
Capricorn.
Yeah.
Just like my mom.
Yes,
my mom's
birthday was
yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Tell her I said happy birthday.
He was supposed to be an Aquarius like me.
Okay.
My birthday is January 28th. So, but he got here. His due date was February 13th. So he was about a month early. And that was an experience.
Okay.
But just, he's perfect, and he's just everything, and so spirited and so inquisitive, and so I'm thankful for him.
Yeah. Tell me about what motherhood has been like for you.
You know, I will say, because for people who don't know, I am a nanny and book editor, so you know, if you need your books edited, but
I do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, but I'm a nanny, so I've worked with kids for over 10 years now. So in my mind, I'm like, you know, this is gonna be all right, because I know babies, I know kids. But one thing that's different, the major thing, is that they're yours. So it's never like, okay, 8 o'clock, your mama gonna be here soon. It's like, oh no, you're staying with me. I'm the mom. Right. You're mine. So that is one major difference. I would say sleep deprivation is real. But it really, I had some major, I won't say setbacks, but it was like traumatic experience after traumatic experience when he was born.
Like what?
So, well, like I said, he was born a month early.
Okay.
They induced me. I had to have a C-section. My water was broken, essentially without my consent. And I really felt, even in hindsight, I feel like we were, I won't say taken advantage of, but they do sort of, doctors and nurses in hospitals, I feel like they sort of prey on your ignorances as first-time parents, and just knowing that you want the best and you put your life and your child's life in their hands.
Right.
And so everything they're telling me, I'm like, okay, we could do that then. I don't feel like I should have been induced. It felt unnecessary at the time, but I'm just listening to what they were saying, and so yeah, it was just a lot. So he was born a month early, and when he was born, he was perfect, but I had a fever and an infection. I was in the hospital for, I got checked in on the 8th. He was born on the 17th, and we stayed until the 22nd. But then 2 weeks after he was born, I, by myself, had to go back into the hospital because my incision from the C-section opened up. I had another fever, another infection. My skin was like peeling off. It was so crazy because I remember wiping myself and thinking like, damn, I'm like really dirty. What? No, but that was my skin.
What was that?
Coming off. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so I essentially missed his whole 3rd week of being born because I was in the hospital trying to get myself back together. And I had to have a home health care nurse who was like packing this wound and checking on me. I didn't get off, like I told my mom, I was like, I'm on the sick and shut-in list. I didn't get discharged officially from the hospital because I was in outpatient care. Okay. But I didn't get discharged officially until like the first week of May.
Okay.
And, you know, he was born in January. So all that time, I'm going through it. And my mom and my boyfriend packing my wound, and it was a rough start because I was scared to be alone with my child because I could barely move.
Okay, right.
And I just didn't feel like I could take care of him. So I definitely fell into a depression, and but they can kind of pull you out of it.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a rough start.
Yeah.
But the whole time Kamalu is perfect.
Okay.
I mean, he's not a fussy baby. He doesn't cry a lot. He's super chill. So I feel like, you know, with all of that, I got the baby that I need and that I needed at the time. The baby, they say you get the baby you deserve. He's the baby I deserve. So,
what was his birth weight?
When he was born, even being a month early, he was still 6 pounds 9 ounces. So he was gonna be a big boy. Yeah, because I have this, I have a blood condition where it's essentially just low platelets.
Okay.
So they were telling me that if my platelets got too low, that I could need a transfusion and all of these things. Yeah, I mean, the stories I could tell. I got into an argument with the anesthesiologist right before he put epidural in me, and I got sliced open. I would not wish a C-section on my worst enemy. It's the worst, especially when you feel like it was unnecessary.
Right.
So yeah, but he was gonna be a big boy. I had all of that to say, I had to be put on steroids because of my blood condition. They were trying to bring my platelets back up. So when you take steroids, it goes to the baby, and so that's why I think he was so big. So,
do you feel like because this question is two-part. Do you feel like you were heard as a person of color when you were experiencing certain things like that? Although I've never had a child, but that whole Serena thing kind of I felt it. I felt it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When she had her complaints and she felt like she wasn't being heard, and in the end there were some real things happening with her.
Right.
That went unheard. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely no. Well, absolutely not. I do not feel like I was heard at all, and I can't necessarily say that I felt like it was a race thing.
Okay.
I think that in my case, I think it was because I'm a plus size woman.
Okay.
That they assume that because you're plus size, you have all of these issues that I just didn't have. They assume that you have high blood pressure, didn't have that. They assume that you have gestational diabetes and preeclampsia and all these things that you can get. I didn't have any of that. Like, I had the perfect pregnancy. I didn't even have morning sickness, none of that stuff. Kamalu been rocking with me for a long time. Just doing me right. But yeah, like, so I can't say, and you know me, I'm always looking for, like, is this a racial thing? But I really feel like it was more so because of my weight that I was judged and not listened to, because that was why I got into the argument with the anesthesiologist, because, based on your conditions, that gives them insight into what type of medicine they should give you. Okay. And so,
but there were no conditions.
But
there were no conditions.
Right. Exactly.
Except
so he's telling me, like, well, I see that you have preeclampsia and gestational diabetes. I'm like, no, I don't. And so we're going back and forth, and finally a nurse is like, no, she don't have none of that. She good. So when the anesthesiologist asked me if I had any question, my only question was, yeah, why the hell you ain't listen to me when I told you that the first time? And yeah, so we kind of went at it back and forth. That happened a couple of times. Like another doctor thought that I had these conditions that I didn't have. But then also, there was a lot of incompetence at my hospital. I chose, and I will say this for any pregnant moms, choose the hospital, not necessarily the doctors. I mean, you want to do both, but when you're doing your research the hospital that you will be possibly delivering at, the nursing staff, all of that, and the doctors, because really and truly, you don't spend that much time with the doctors. It's the nurses that you're with this whole time. And so I had some really incompetent nurses
Where'd you have them? Where'd you have them?
Rockdale Hospital.
Okay.
And it's now Piedmont Rockdale. And it was unfortunate enough to be admitted while they're going through this transition from Rockdale to Piedmont Rockdale. And like when I would say stuff, not necessarily complaining, but just like stuff that didn't make sense to me. You know, you're always told like, well, I've been doing this for X amount of years. I know what I'm doing. And I mean, there's this one particular incident where, so when they're inducing you, they give you this drug. It's called